Papa John's Cubs pregame live.
Cubs and the Astros complete a three-game set here at the friendly confines of beautiful Wrigley Field on one of the most gorgeous days of the year. Cubs looking to take the series after dropping a tough one yesterday in really tough fashion. And welcome in Papa John's Cubs pregame live. I'm David Kaplan. He is Todd Hollingsworth. Okay, I asked Dale Swaim this in the pregame. How do you reconcile that you gave the game away yesterday, but you also had a call in the eighth inning, a ball that's not even close to being called a strike, and Phil Cuzzi somehow, some way calls it strike two?
No, I mean, you kind of get into this position where you're kind of blaming your circumstances. I'm not saying that's what Dale's doing, but you're starting to feel it. You're starting to see that we're kind of going to other things that are determining our outcome. You want to get away from that. You want a team that's going to go out there and fight and hopefully make their circumstances, make their breaks. Every good team that I've ever played on says that. That's the battle cry in the clubhouse. We're going to make our own breaks. Don't worry about what the umpires do. Don't worry about blown calls. We're going to get over it. We're going to find a way to win. I hope that's not where the Cubs seem to be going with this, because you know what? They just need to be better with runners in scoring position. How about that? A lot of missed opportunities yesterday, and that's kind of been a theme with these guys. You want to win these games, you know what? A little bit more.
Yeah, that was frustrating, and when I talked with Dale about it, he said having a 3-0 lead and 2 outs and nobody on and giving up a 3-run home run in that inning, that is exceptionally frustrating.
Well, that's exactly right. And you talk about making mistakes to a team like the Houston Astros. I mean, their one strength, the one thing you go to when you talk about them is that they've got some power in the lineup. They've got the ability to go yard, and you can't be making mistakes for an aggressive hitting team. They're looking to swing the bat early in the count, and you're thinking, oh, hanging off speed pitch right here, first pitch, boom, tie ball game. It can't happen. You got to get down in the zone. Travis Wood knows that. He makes mistakes, and he's certainly not asking these guys to be perfect, but you sense the moment, you sense the timing. You know what? You've got the 3-0 lead. They've got the tying run at the plate. That's the last place you want to make that mistake, and you know what? It ends up costing them.
All right, we will hear from Jen Latta in a moment down on the field as the Cubs and Astros will complete, for Chicago, a very brief 3-game homestand. Off day tomorrow and then back to work on Tuesday in Milwaukee against the Milwaukee Brewers. Now let's go down to the field. Jen Latta, who is covering the game for us. I think Jen is standing by. She had a chance to talk with Dale Swaim this morning. Jen, what's the latest on the Cubs? I asked a question about a frustrating loss, but there's a lot more to it. You asked him about Starlin Castro.
I did, and we also talked about Jeff Samardzija, who is making the start today. Samardzija, like many of these Cubs pitchers, is one of those guys whose record does not necessarily reflect his success this season. He's got a 3.35 ERA, but he's got a 4-7 record. And here's the thing about Samardzija. He's very reliable. He always makes his starts. His 16th of the season, his 8th at home, and the guys like playing behind him. But Dale Swaim told me that if there's one thing they could improve upon when it comes to Samardzija, who they do expect to be the ace of this staff at some point, it's his consistency.
I think he's emerging. You know, I mean, this establishment comes with obviously complete success. All the time, that consistency, that same guy that, you know, mentally, physically, you know, not making them mistakes, you know, later in the game, you know, just finishing off games, finishing the 8th inning, even if you've got, and he has actually been pretty good at that. When I send him back out there, he's been one guy that you can count on to finish that inning.
Well, he's fun to play behind because he has a game plan and he pitches to the game plan, and you know, he's one of those guys that you might see in the 8th inning. You know, if he were to come off the bench and just throw the 8th, he would be pretty unbelievable. To have a guy to throw 120 pitches consistently with that kind of stuff is fun to play behind. He's a ground ball pitcher. You know, he works 4 pitches consistently in a strike zone. So, you know, he's a competitor, number one. I think that's the biggest thing about Samardzija that people see is he's out there. He's excited. He's pumping his fists. You know, he's doing those things that you like to see, you know, as a fan and as a player.
And that, of course, goes to Swaim's point, which is the consistency, because earlier this season, he was consistently going out there and pitching 8 innings. Lately, it's been more like 6, and that's what he's averaging currently. Earlier this week, though, he took a step in the direction of being a leader. off of the field when he came to the defense of Dale Swaim and Carlos Marmol, who have obviously gotten a lot of fan ire lately, especially after last Sunday's game in New York. And those type of things where you go out in the media and talk positively about a teammate and about a manager, those do bode well in the clubhouse. So guys, happy to play for him, and hopefully he can go out there and get the win for the Cubs today. That's the story down here just outside the dugout. Jen Ladd at Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, thank you, Jen. So she talked about Jeff Samardzija. Dale said today in his media session, he said, look, I know he's had his struggles in June, but every time they've had, quote-unquote, a big game, hard to have big games when you're 11, 12, 13 games under, but he said we've had some big starts for him. The White Sox game being one, he's responded.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, it always gets back to his fastball and his fastball command. I mean, you know Jeff. I mean, we've seen his mentality, his way. We've seen that for a few years now. We saw it in the bullpen. This guy is a bulldog. He wants the ball in big games, wants to make big pitches, occasionally makes the mistake. I mean, it happens. It's part of the progression. And I think you hear Dale talking about it. Does he project as a number one? Does he project to greatness and in that elite conversation around baseball? He absolutely does. He just has to do it now, and he's in the middle of that process, this being the year of taking the next step and everybody having their eyes on Jeff as the number one in this rotation, and I think he's starting to take the steps. You look at a game like today. You've split the first two games against the Houston Astros. You're going out on the road. This is a big game. You're looking for a series win against a team you should get a series win against. You've got your guy. So you're not looking for a blow-up. You are looking for 7-8 innings from Jeff Samardzija today. You're looking for length, and you're looking for him to shut down any rallies and to make those pitches, hopefully pitching with the lead.
Yeah, he's a guy who has worked exceedingly hard to get to this position.
Absolutely.
To be considered a long-term asset as a starter. This is the type of game where he has to go out and dominate.
Yeah, let me say this. I'll say this about Jeff. I think he's worked harder than anybody expected him to, and I think that's a huge compliment to Jeff Samardzija, whether it's us in the media, his coaches, his teammates. He's done more. You go back to his, coming into the rotation for the very first time, above and beyond what anybody could possibly have expected, and that sends all the credit right to him. He's done more than's ever been asked of him, and now the expectation is there, and he still wants more.
All right, let's talk about Jordan Lyles. Now, this is not a great Astro club, but he has pitched very well for them in spurts, and when he's on, they're a fairly tough team to beat.
Oh, he's been part of the reason why this Houston Astros team is starting to win some ball games right now, and they have. They've been playing pretty well over the last 2 weeks. Their starting pitching's really picked it up, and Jordan Lyles is one of those reasons. He's had a fantastic June. He's 2-0 with a 1.69 ERA in June. He's got good numbers. He's got a winning record on a team that's lost a lot of ball games. He talks about it. I haven't really changed much, but I'm making good first pitch strikes, getting a lot of early outs, a lot of ground ball outs, and not making the mistakes that I was making last year, which is at times falling behind hitters, coming into the strike zone a little too high, and getting hurt a lot. So he's been much better about his pitch selection early in the count, getting the ball on the ground, and getting much better results.
All right, let's take a look at the Comcast Business Edge as we look at J.D. Martinez. Comcast Business Edge is sports at the speed of business, and J.D. Martinez, big 3-run home run off of Travis Wood yesterday, tied the ball game up. But if you look back over the last couple dozen ball games, this guy's played exceptionally well. He's got some pop in his bat, and he drives in runs.
Yeah, he's been a nice addition to the Astros over the last few seasons. A reliable source of power to some extent. I certainly don't want to overstate it or overplay it. He's been good for him. He really has. He's given him some big hits like yesterday. I mean, this is a team. This is the Astros. They've struggled to put an offense together, a lineup together on a lot of days that's going to be consistent. I'm not talking about young guys becoming better. I know that they're in the middle of a rebuilding process, but J.D. has been maybe one of those few guys that they've been able to pencil in there fairly regularly and count on getting some power.
All right, we got to take our first time out here on Papa John's Cubs pregame live. It's the Cubs and the Astros to wrap up a 3-game homestand and a 3-game weekend series. And here's a great idea for your lunch. How about papajohns.com? They'll get it to you probably right around first pitch. There's a perfect plan. A win for the Cubs and some pizza. We'll be right back. We're going to look at the leadoff spots since David DeJesus went down with Holly. That's coming up 40-some minutes to first pitch.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get one free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code NORTHSIDE. Order now at papajohns.com.
Your old air conditioner is costing you money. Put your money back in your pocket with a new energy-efficient air conditioner from Four Seasons. And right now, get a new air conditioner from just $24.95 installed. Furnace and AC combos from just $36.95. Plus, enjoy 5 years interest-free financing. Save money on your electric bill with a new AC from Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
You can choose to take your chances, or you can choose the Infiniti JX, the world's first luxury crossover that can sense what's behind you, even when you can't, and can apply the brakes, even before you do. The Infiniti JX, the backup collision intervention system. Visit the Infiniti Limited Engagement Spring Event to lease a JX for only $469 a month. Infiniti, inspired performance.
Right now, save big on beautiful kitchen and bath remodels from Galaxy. Just $49 installed. Call or visit GalaxyHome.com today.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
And 2 more. Honey, what are you doing? I thought you were getting your hair cut at Great Clips.
I am. Already checked in.
How?
Their sweet online check-in app. Why wait around there for a haircut when I can work on my body here? I got a few more minutes. And pump it and squeeze it. Ooh, smile at me.
Introducing the online check-in app from Great Clips. No more waiting around, because now we'll be waiting for you. Great Clips, it's gonna be great.
That'd be very appropriate. And you can feel it, right?
So you can use ink for all your business purchases.
At the wedding. I like it. Really pretty.
So you can capture your receipts and manage them online with Jot, the latest app from Ink. So you can spend less time doing paperwork and more time doing paperwork.
That is
Ink from Chase. So you can.
A gorgeous day for baseball on the north side of our great city. Cubs and the Astros teeing it up here on Comcast Sportsnet. Jordan Lyles against Jeff Samardzija. All right, let's take a look at the lineup for the Chicago Cubs and take a look at the leadoff spot specifically, because since David DeJesus went down, Cubs leadoff men have stepped up in those 8 games. They played very well. As you look at the names today, Valbuena at the top spot, Castro, Shearholt, Soriano, Rizzo, Sweeney, Castillo, Barney, and Jeff Samardzija. Let's talk about Louis Valbuena and Barney in the leadoff spot.
No, I think Barney's done it a little different way, maybe taking the message that Dale has thrown out there. Listen, guys, I want you to think, let's be aggressive first. First pitch fastball, swing the bat. We'll battle as the at-bat goes on. Let's not try to be passive-aggressive. And that was a message to the entire team just a few days ago. Louis Valbuena, though, I will say this about him. He's the one guy that I would really, we talk about the Cubs way, or developing on-base percentage and developing at-bats, that really has improved in this area. You think about who Louis Valbuena was to this, who he was last year to this point this year, and I mean, the at-bats have become so much better. It might not be a spike in batting average or home runs or RBIs, but the quality of at-bat, he does not give at-bats away any longer. He's giving you the 5, 6, 7, 8 pitch at-bats at a time. And you see him at the top of the lineup. He's doing a pretty good job. Drives in a couple runs yesterday. Draws a walk. Has a nice, pretty nice ball game.
In the 8 games, Cubs leadoff hitters hitting .355 with a .412 OBP. Major league average, .274 with a .334. Barney, 500 in 2 games. Valbuena, .276 in 6 games. He gets his 7th opportunity at the top of the lineup today. We'll see how they fare. Now, let's take a look at the lineup for Bo Porter's Houston Astros. And they will run out there. Justin Maxwell, Jose Altuve, who's got great speed. Jason Castro, yesterday's hero. JD Martinez in left. Carter in first. Kraus in right, batting 6. Dominguez, Gonzalez, and Jordan Lyles.
Well, not much changes. Again, this is a lineup that I feel Jeff Samardzija should be able to dominate. Yes, that being the key word, dominate. You make your pitches, you're going to have a nice day today keeping the ball down. And I'm saying that with the wind blowing out and 90-degree day, Cap. I mean, if he makes his pitches and executes at the bottom of the strike zone, he should have his way with the Houston Astros. Again, he makes mistakes, off-speed pitch, out over the plate, he may pay the price. That's going to be the key. I expect to see a lot of fastballs from Jeff today.
All right, you played in this park, you played in L.A. where it can get hot. How does the hot weather affect, A, your prep for a game, B, you had the ability to take the ball out at any time. How did it affect your plate discipline?
No, in my mind, I actually tried to narrow it down. I wanted to make sure that I was swinging at pitches out over the plate. If I was going to make a mistake in my swing or in my approach, I was going to be fooled by speed. I wasn't going to be fooled by location. Off the pitch, away, down and away, two-seamer, didn't want to mess with it. You're busting me inside, didn't want to mess with that either. Just have a good approach, use the big part of the field because it will fly anywhere. It actually made it easier to hit. In my mind, I would tend to relax. I was more comfortable on days like today. I wasn't licking my chops trying to do more. I just was more at peace because I could get away with more. Maybe a jam shot ends up off a wall.
Okay, let's talk about it from a pitcher's perspective. You didn't pitch in the big leagues. I certainly didn't. But you get looser quicker. You feel really good. You get into a sweat quick. But also, you know, if you make a mistake, as you said, it can go to Waveland or Sheffield.
Well, you don't want to dwell on that. And mistakes are going to happen. They could happen in the game, but don't give the game away. That's where you got to trust your offense is going to get back in it. I think you try to live on the corners, try to execute your pitches and stay down in the strike zone. And for Jeff, who loves to throw a lot of fastballs, I don't really see this as a problem. He loves to, work to the corners. He uses his two-seamer and his four-seamer an awful lot. He'll use his cutter. And a lot of times you saw it in the St. Louis game, the fantastic effort working into the ninth inning last time out. He stayed aggressive against one of the better hitting teams in baseball. And it was a ton of fastballs. It wasn't overusing the split finger or working in that slider a ton. I mean, you saw about 20 off-speed pitches. You saw 80-plus fastballs. I think that is going to be the formula for today. If he's going to get beat, and he gets beat, it's going to be on his pitch. Somebody's going to get him on a tougher pitch, maybe unexpected. I don't see Jeff making mistakes out over the plate today.
All right, we'll see what happens. Again, a very hot day here, over 90 at the ballpark. It's sunny, and the Cubs looking to take the series. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk about their three perfect closers in all of baseball. Grant Balfour is at the top of that list. There's a Cub on that list. We'll talk about that, have Holly's keys, all that still to come before we hand it off to Len and JD. Cubs and Astros coming up.
Legendary names, personal stories from the boys in the hall, and today's stars who dream to join them.
I can't say I ever set individual expectations. I always wanted to be the best.
See them on boysinthehall.com, celebrated by Subway, where winners eat.
I'm a contractor. It's a good feeling to build something. I can build anything.
I don't see it.
Clients aren't always visual, so visual aids are important, like brochures, posters, proposals.
Oh, I see it.
Have to look good. I print all my stuff at the UPS store down the street. They help me with everything.
He likes it.
Business is good.
The parking reminder feature on the My Chevrolet app will cleverly help you find your way back to your car almost anywhere. It's available on Malibu and on every Chevrolet. The phones that connect us to our lives now connect us to our cars. That's American ingenuity to find new roads.
With Luna, buy 2 rooms of flooring with installation and get product for the rest of your home for just $99. Sit back, relax, and save.
773-202 Luna.
With DirecTV, you can watch your favorite team in crystal clear HD. Even listen to your hometown announcers from anywhere in the country.
A home run for Buster Posey.
Preview up to 8 live games at once on the same screen, or see the biggest plays from across the league on one channel. MLB Extra Innings delivers all this no matter where you live, now for the lowest price in 5 years. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS, because when it comes to America's pastime, all eyes are on DirecTV.
Outdoor living spaces come to life when designed with Unilock products made with Enduracolor. For a free estimate and design consultation, join us online at unilock.com. Unilock, designed to connect.
Sports Talk Live, weeknights on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back to Papa John's Cubs Pregame Live. Here are your hosts, Todd Hollandsworth and David Kaplan.
A lot of Blackhawk fever even here at the ballpark. Dale Swaim, a lot of the players talking about last night's Blackhawk victory, has one win from the Stanley Cup. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll have a lot of coverage for you from Boston, pre- and post-game coverage as well, and our website, csnchicago.com. Now back to baseball, Cubs and Astros today. The Cubs have one of 3 perfect closers in baseball. I would like your thoughts on the stunning season Kevin Gregg's had. Got his first loss of the season yesterday. That's going to happen. But he's 11 for 11 in save situations.
No, he's done a fantastic job coming in and throwing strikes. I mean, really, for everybody in Chicago and all that we've been through with Carlos Marmol and how that conversation kind of has gone over the years, I mean, you really should see that this is not a complicated, it's intense. It takes a different breed, but it's not that complicated. You come in, you throw strikes, you make pitches, and you stay down at the bottom of the zone. He does have a knockout pitch. I think that's what everybody is so amazed at. And I'm not necessarily talking about his knockout pitch. I just think everybody sees the radar gun and he says, you know, Kevin's throwing 91, 92 miles an hour. Yeah, you know, he's just getting that. He's had a fantastic split-finger fastball. It has bailed him out. He's had a few predicaments that he's gotten himself into, and it saved him a few times. He's had a great split-finger fastball, and if you look around the league, you know, you talk about the perfection. He has been just that. He is going to get some attention as we move to the trade deadline.
All right, let me correct myself. Edward Mujica of the St. Louis Cardinals is number 1 at 21 for 21. Grant Balfour, who had led early, is 18 for 18, and then Kevin Gregg, the only other perfect closer. Now, earlier today, our Jen Ladd had a chance to catch up with Cubs Gold Glove second baseman Darwin Barney.
You're a player known for your defense and have been rewarded with that in the past, but now hitting safely, and you have the stretch of hitting safely in 10 of the last 11 games. Is there something different that you're just having luck at the plate?
I mean, you always need luck in this game, but you know, just adjusting the approach a little bit. You know, trying to swing at good pitches. I think that's the key, is just relaxing a little bit and swinging good pitches. I think, you know, as a team, we get into those situations where runners are in scoring position and stuff like that, and, you know, maybe we try and do too much because of how the season's been going, but, you know, just got to work on that approach and keep working.
Not happy with the result of at least one of your at-bats yesterday, but how is this team at bouncing back?
Man, I mean, it's been one of those years where we're consistently getting good starting pitching, and if we put up 4 or 5 runs, you know, we have a really good chance to win the ball game. So, you know, it's just a matter of doing that, getting that big hit, you know, and as of late, you know, we haven't necessarily been doing that, but when we do, we're winning ball games. So, you know, somehow we got to do that more often.
And finally, you've been in town for a little bit now, and you're seeing the energy that the Blackhawks fans are getting. How has that been in this clubhouse? Are you guys into that, watching that, paying attention?
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of guys are into that. You know, a lot of guys are Blackhawks fans, and, you know, we only had a minor league team in Portland where I'm from, so it's kind of fun to follow that. You know, hopefully they can put it away in the next one. So all it does is makes us want to win and have a successful season and see what kind of buzz that would draw. But for now, we're really happy for them, and hopefully they can put it away.
All right, thank you, Jen. And Darwin is not hitting what he did a year ago. Defense is still stellar, among the best in all of baseball. Do you see anything different with his approach at the plate?
No, he's being a little bit more aggressive. I think that Darwin has really tried to embrace the idea that you know,
grinding,
pitch selection, and I think he struggled with it a little bit. And I think that's exactly what Dale, and I brought this up a little earlier in the show. I'll bring it up again. You know, was talking about giving away first pitch fastballs. I mean, I was talking to my boys about this just the other day. You know, you look to be aggressive, and just because you're aggressive early in the count doesn't make you a free swinging team. The message that Dale's trying to send is, guys, we're getting a lot of fastballs out over the plate. Pitchers are trying to get ahead of us with fastball down the middle of the plate, and then they're expanding. So it gets a little bit more complicated. There's nothing wrong with being a first pitch fastball hitting team. If that's who you are, you're ready to hit. You get in the box, and sometimes that best pitch you're going to get is going to be the first pitch. You saw it the other day from Darwin. Had the fantastic day, was very aggressive early in the count, because that's exactly how they've been attacking the Cubs, and that's what he wants to see. Now, you know, listen, you're going to have to battle, shorten up with 2 strikes, and hopefully.
But it also means you be patient if you're not getting the pitch you think you can hit early.
Well, that's right. You keyhole. You just say, listen, I'm looking for a fastball in this zone right here, and if it's not there, I'm going to leave it alone. It's the idea that, you know what, if I get a first pitch fastball, I am ready to hit. I am ready to swing the bat. If it's low, over the middle of the plate, I can do it. If it's up here, I can do it. But if it's a curveball, leave it alone. That's not something you're looking to chase.
All right, got to take the time out. We come back. The keys to a Cubs victory from Todd Hollandsworth. That's next.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
We're a small company. We need to save.
We order 15 different kinds of pens. I say we decide on one.
Too controversial.
We can double up, put 2 to a workspace.
Too trendy.
What if we just get our phone and internet from one provider?
Actually, Comcast Business is a great value. We can get more for less.
You're the office manager. How much less do we have?
Oh, we are rolling in less, sir.
Say goodbye to the phone company. Say hello to savings. Comcast Business drives business.
Your old air conditioner is costing you money. Put your money back in your pocket with a new energy-efficient air conditioner from Four Seasons. And right now, get a new air conditioner from just $24.95 installed. Furnace and AC combos from just $36.95. Plus, enjoy 5 years interest-free financing. Save money on your electric bill with a new AC from Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
We were really impressed by the Honda Fit's folding rear seat.
Yeah, does this have the same amount of cargo space? Look, this thing can't compete with the Fit spaciousness or the value for the money. But if you could do me a solid, before you head back over to Honda, can you fill out this customer satisfaction survey saying that I was an informed and courteous sales associate? Thanks.
Only a Honda is a Honda. The Honda Fit, one of Car and Driver's 10 best 7 years running. Get a great deal now at your Honda dealer.
Right now, save big on beautiful kitchen and bath remodels from Galaxy. Just $49 installed. Call or visit GalaxyHome.com today.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
Unbelievable.
This is awesome.
Come on, really? I knew he was going to shank it.
I didn't shank it.
Seriously, what are we supposed to do with this? What if I just, Oh, no, don't do that. Sorry. He's really in there. That slime dripping off? It is. Yep. That's nice.
Wouldn't it be great if every situation had helpful notes? That's why at Great Clips, we have clip notes. Notes that say exactly what you like. So don't just get a cut, get your hair cut. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Jeff Samardzija getting ready. He will make the start today. His Cubs trying to end the homestand, a short one, on a winning note. Take the series from the Houston Astros. All right, it's time for Todd Hollandsworth's keys to the game.
Well, I think this is going to be the keys to victory today, Cap. I really believe it. Fastball command / first pitch strikes. Talking Jeff Samardzija and the key to success that he had in St. Louis. Expect to see more of that today. Why? Well, the Astros aren't the Cardinals, number one. Number two, the wind is blowing out. I expect him to be overly aggressive with his fastball today. And you'll see the mix. You're going to see the 2-seamer, the 4-seamer, and the cutter. Just don't expect to see too many sliders. I think it's one of those days where, and you saw this yesterday, one pitch can undo a start. If you hang a slider, you hang an off-speed pitch, and then you get the 3-run homer, your start can get all messed up. I completely expect him to be aggressive today with his fastball leading the way, and if he gets himself in some trouble, expect more fastball. Number two, dingers, going to be part of it. We've seen it in this series already. I'm talking home runs right now. Now, they haven't necessarily decided the game, but you go back to game one, the Cubs hit 3, they win 3-1. You go to yesterday, you get a big 3-run homer for the Astros. They go on and win. They get a sacrifice squeeze, suicide squeeze late, and they win another ball game, but they get back into it because of the dinger. The circumstances, the conditions today tell you it's going to be a big part of the ball game. I expect it to happen that way, but you put that together with Jordan Lyles and Jeff Samardzija on the mound today, some of those dingers might be flying late, and that's my third key, late runs. I expect this thing to be pretty tight between these two starters. They both have been throwing the ball very, very well. Jeff coming off a great start. Lyles, a great month of June. That leads me to believe that the bullpens are going to be major factors today, as well as keeping the ball in the yard. So some late runs, whoever can come up with them on a getaway day probably will get that W.
All right, time for us to pick our key performers. I won yesterday, or actually Friday, so I get to go first. I'm going to take Nate Schierholtz. I think he is really locked in a good groove. Watch him take BP today. Wind is blowing out. I think Schierholtz has a big day.
Yeah, that's a great pick for you there, Cap, out there in the lead. Just go with the hottest hand in the lineup. Leave the rest of us with nothing. So I see how you're working and how you're going to play. You know what? I'm going to take Anthony Rizzo because I expect him to do just the same thing, and he's due to get hot.
There you go. And I actually have my son with me at work today. He's saying Starlin Castro breaks his slump today and has a big day. All right. don't forget now, we've got the best Blackhawk coverage, and we will have great Cubs post-game coverage for you today. Holly and I back at the studios, so dial it up. Have a great day. Enjoy Cubs baseball. Jeff Samardzija, Jordan Lyles should be a real good pitching matchup. We will see you on the other side. Len and JD will have the play-by-play call coming up for you in mere moments. The Cubs end the homestand, a brief one, against the Houston Astros. Len and JD are next. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody. See you.
A hot one today, wind blowing out, could be another offensive afternoon. We've seen the ball fly out of the ballpark here this weekend, although not really high-scoring games per se.
No, but home runs have been a big part of the story. Friday, the Cubs hit 3 solo home runs. Then yesterday, the big blow, a 3-run shot by J.D. Martinez, a game in which Travis Wood was really cruising along. It felt like a win, and I imagine Bo Porter and the Astros feel like they stole one yesterday.
Let's get the highlights of Game 2 of this series after the Cubs won on Friday 3-1. All the runs in Game 1 were on home runs, and JD mentioning Travis Wood. He was terrific through the first 5 innings, kept the Astros off the board, and actually picked up his 14th quality start of the season. That is the most in the major leagues. Now in the 5th inning, Cubs adding on to their lead is Nate Scherholtz, hitting his 10th home run of the season off Bud Norris. That's a new career high for Nate, and things look pretty good. But then the next half inning, Astros batting with 2 outs, 2 on. Cutter just trailed too far inside, didn't he?
Yeah, the intention was to throw that backdoor cutter to the outside corner. He just pulled it across his body. It drifted up and in on J.D. Martinez, who had been beat by a similar pitch earlier in the ball game, but that time he got the barrel out and knocked it onto Waveland.
Now the 8th inning. This was a weird inning for the Cubs. They had all kinds of base runners. A pickoff here at second base. It looked like Soriano got his hand in, but the call went against the Cubs. Dale Swaim coming out to argue, to no avail. And then later on in the inning, bases loaded, a 3-1 count. It looked like ball 4. It was called strike 2, and Barney would end up flying out to center field to end the threat. So we remain tied. Top of the 9th, Kevin Gregg is on. Justin Maxwell at 3rd, and a nice safety squeeze bunt by Ronnie Cedeno. The Astros grab a 4-3 lead, and that would be the final score as the Astros win a tight one yesterday.
Yeah, again, J.D. Martinez with the big blow. It kind of came out of nowhere because Travis Wood was in complete command of his stuff. And, you know, that Astros lineup doesn't have a lot of firepower. They do have some dangerous bats, but the way Wood has pitched this year, the way he was pitching yesterday, it felt like it was going to be a pretty comfortable win for the Cubs. But a new day, a chance for redemption here this afternoon.
Let's take one more look back at yesterday. Jen Latta is down on the field. Dale Swaim talking about the couple of calls that we just mentioned and possible replay in the future. Jen?
You're exactly right, guys. Dale Swaim was asked if it was the most frustrating game of the season. He said it was frustrating, but it wasn't the most frustrating, of course, referring to that 8th inning. After the game, Alfonso Soriano did say that he has respect for the umpires. He knows it's a tough job, but it was a bad call. And it is the latest call that has Dale Swaim talking replay in America's pastime.
I know they're thinking about it and what avenues they can go down with that, but I think in certain times, yeah. I mean, you could use it, but you know, for the most part, it's the game, and that's the world we live in.
But what if they had it for like the Soriano's part? Would you?
Well, you have to. I think more than anything, you'd have to do something in the regards of like the NFL, like have, you know, you get 2 challenges, you get one in the first 5 innings, one in the last, you know, whatever it might be, and then maybe, I don't know, like, you know, the last 2 minutes, everything's under review. I mean, you can open up so many things with you know, replay, but
playing 6-hour games.
Well, I mean, that's why I think I think if you did to go to whatever format possible, they'd have to have somebody in the booth and, you know, obviously some kind of microphone and say, hey, boom, we got it wrong, you got it right, whatever it be, instead of 4 guys have to go in and check it themselves. There'd have to be an extra guy just watching it, and you can get it done within 30 seconds.
Okay, so Darwin Barney, another guy who many believe had a legitimate beef. Of course, he's been doing very well lately, and I'm not just talking about his defense. People know him as the defending Gold Glove Award winner at second base, and he has a streak right now of 62 errorless innings continuing. But lately at the plate, he's been coming on. 326 in his last 11 games, so I asked him, what's been different about your approach at the plate?
you always need luck in this game, but you know, just adjusting the approach a little bit. You know, trying to swing at good pitches. I think that's the key, is just relaxing a little bit and swinging good pitches. I think, you know, as a team, we get into those situations where runners are in scoring position and stuff like that, and, you know, maybe we try and do too much because of how the season's been going, but, you know, just got to work on that approach and keep working.
That's the story down here, guys. Back up to you.
All right, Jen, thanks very much. This will wrap up a long Cubs homestand that started on Friday. Back to the road for 9, beginning Tuesday in Milwaukee. Coming up, we'll take a look around the majors.
When the Northsiders score 3, get one free. After the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get the second one free online at papajohns.com with promo code Northside.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get one free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code Northside. Order now at papajohns.com.
Xfinity from Comcast gives you total access to your Chicago White Sox. Because only Xfinity gives you exclusive White Sox shows on demand and 24/7 coverage of every team in the league with MLB Network. This is the White Sox on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network and White Sox on demand. Or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
This is my business.
I'm the owner and sole proprietor.
I only have one other employee, Chester.
It's a romantic notion. Be the boss, but you are alone.
Well, not technically alone.
I do have a lot of help, actually.
My UPS store.
I had this printed there.
Packing, shipping, help.
Outstanding.
Toasters.
I have a mailbox there.
Best thing, they're right down the street.
The owner's a friend. Forgot the account.
My team.
Yes! Careful now.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
Monster waves. Too fast, too scary. Until an ingenious idea changed everything. Tow-in surfing. Courageous thinking. It's how we engineered the Mazda 3. Skyactiv technology gives it 40 highway MPG. This is the Mazda way, and this is the Mazda 3. What do you drive? Get the 2013 Mazda 3 with either 1,000 customer cash or 0% APR for 60 months, plus 500 APR cash.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Summer has certainly arrived here in Chicago. A hot one today. The Astros and the Cubs will wrap up this 3-game interleague series, the rubber match after the Cubs won Friday and the Astros taking game 2. Some exciting finishes around Major League Baseball yesterday. Let's hear some of the highlights starting in San Francisco.
Left field. Coming in, it falls. And it kicks away from Ruggiano, and this game is over.
In the air to left field. Going back on it. It is gone! Kevin Franzen sends everybody home with an 8-7 victory here in the bottom of the 9th inning. How about that?
And that baby was way out.
Way out of the ballpark.
The 1-0.
Line drive back up the middle. Rounding second is Montero. The Diamondbacks will walk off for the win.
So Arizona with that win, now 4 straight for the Diamondbacks, 3-game lead in the National League West. Look out for the Blue Jays. They're only 6 games out after winning their 10th in a row, 37-36. Back to the West, Zach Greinke returning to San Diego for the first time since that brawl. He suffered the broken collarbone, but gets his 4th win as the Dodgers take the 6-1 decision. And then the Tigers, Max Scherzer has won 11 straight decisions to start the season. Stats reporting he's the first starting pitcher to begin a year 11-0 since Roger Clemens in 1997. Victor Martinez with his first grand slam in a couple of years. Detroit with a 3-game lead over the Indians. Jeff Samardzija will get the start today for the Cubs, coming off one of his better outings of the season. And young 22-year-old right-hander Jordan Lyles has been terrific, winning his last 3 decisions. The Astros and Cubs coming up from Wrigley. Stay tuned.
Chevy Malibu offers an EPA-estimated 34 mpg highway.
Malibu.
Want safety? It has 10 standard airbags.
Wow, Malibu.
Right now, the deal on one of these is like...
Malibuya?
Malibuya.
Malibuya. Malibuya.
Malibuya.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, get this great lease on a 2013 Chevy Malibu LS for around $169 a month.
Find hot deals during the Menards Summer Sale. Experience the style and protection of True Bolt lock sets. The Sydney Passage knob and oil-rubbed bronze finish is $9.99. The Victoria lock set in a satin nickel finish with entry lock and deadbolt is $29.99. Get quality at a great price with Crestline windows and patio doors in over 1 million size and style combinations, including Energy Star rated models. All special order windows and patio doors are 20% off.
Save big money at Menards.
Motor Trend asked truck owners who aren't driving a Ford to take the EcoBoost Challenge.
Ford, I'm impressed.
Ford F-150 with EcoBoost technology versus Chevy Silverado.
Silverado is struggling right now. The F-150 just totally outperformed it.
It made towing that huge boat around very easy.
I'm very surprised that it's a V6. I would pick the Ford if I had my choice between the two.
Now get 1,000 trade assist on F-150 and choose either 0 for 60 or 6250 in cash savings plus 1,000 bonus cash.
It is a hot summer day here in Chicago, and we're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. All the youngsters getting the Rhino Build-A-Bear coming through the turnstiles. Hey, that's a good birthday gift for my partner today. The Astros and the Cubs will play the rubber match. And along with the birthday boy, Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper. Jeff Samardzija coming off one of his better outings of the year in St. Louis. He has been really good for the most part all season long.
Pitched just a brilliantly intelligent game last time against the Cardinals. Hard sinkers down and in. Maybe a different game plan today against this free-swinging Astros bunch. Look for a bunch of strikeouts from Samardzija today. But last time against St. Louis, 8 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, gave up a solo home run. Other than that, not a lot of hard contact from the Cardinal hitters. And that's the best hitting team in the league.
So Samardzija today for the Cubs. It'll be young 22-year-old right-hander Jordan Lyles for the Astros. He is coming into his own.
Yeah, a kid that they have high expectations for. Last month or so, he's been among the best in the American League. You take a look at his outings since getting roughed up by the Rangers on May 12th, and he's been brilliant. Just 8 earned runs allowed in his last 7 starts. Real good curveball.
It is Sunday, so we'll have God Bless America and our national anthem performed today by the Mesmers.
This time, please rise. Kindly remove your caps. Wayne and Kathleen Mesmer as they honor our nation with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above.
From the mountains,
to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming on the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wayne and Kathleen Mesmer with God Bless America and our national anthem. It has been a series of home runs. Yeah, on Friday, it was the Cubs. Yesterday, it was the Astros. We'll have Game 3 coming up next.
Sign a waiver?
Waiver?
Two seats, one for you and one for racing legend Mario Andretti. The fastest seat in sports sweepstakes. Enter for a chance to start an IZOD IndyCar Series race at shophonda.com.
Dish Network can claim what they want, but America consistently chooses DirecTV. For the best television experience, DirecTV beats Dish hands down. But don't just take our word for it. Over the last 3 years, for every customer Dish lost, DirecTV gained 24. In fact, more people chose DirecTV last year than all cable and satellite companies combined. Sorry, Dish. 30 million customers can't be wrong. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
It's our pride in the red, white, and blue. It's our commitment that always comes shining through. It's everything that you need. The hardest working people in America find value at Farm and Fleet.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank, helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Beautiful shot of downtown Chicago, Navy Pier, and the Great Lake. And the military recognition today before the game. Illinois National Guard Specialist Drew Stocks from Lisle, Illinois, entered the military 2008, just returned home from Afghanistan last week with the 933rd Military Police Company. Received the Army Achievement Medal for his work while in Afghanistan. Great to have him here.
Welcome home.
Yeah. So the environment would seem to put the hitters at an advantage today, but you know, if two starting pitchers are on their game, it might not play out that way. These two guys will try to get some ground balls. Samardzija and Jordan Lyles.
One of those days where Wrigley Field has earned its reputation over the years. People have the image of Wrigley being such a great hitter's park. In reality, it's not. But on days like today, it certainly is. A hot summer day with the wind blowing out. And if you're not careful as a pitcher, things can get away from you in a hurry. Keep the ball down. Minimize the traffic. Solo home runs not likely to beat you, but a couple of walks and then somebody pops one, and that could be the difference in the game.
Hey, before we start, we mentioned the Blue Jays have won 10 in a row and are creeping back into contention in the American League East. They lead the Orioles 9-0 in the bottom of the third today. Edwin Encarnacion with his 21st home run.
Wow, they are on fire.
Jumped all over Freddie Garcia early. So the Cubs take the field behind their ace, right-hander Jeff Samardzija. And let's look in on the Astros Southwest starting nine. He will face Justin Maxwell is going to lead off and play center. Brandon Barnes out of their lineup today. Jose Altuve is at second. Castro's the catcher. He'll hit third. JD Martinez tied the game with that big home run. He's in left. Chris Carter strikes out a lot, but he's also hit 15 home runs. Mark Krause starts in right. First time in his short big league career he's been in the lineup. Matt Dominguez at third. Marwin Gonzalez at short. And the pitcher Lyles batting ninth.
Let's take a look and see who's where for the Cubs this afternoon. Soriano, Sweeney, Shearholtz left, center, right. You see the infield with Valbuena. Castro, who struggled a little bit lately with the glove. He also made a couple spectacular plays in this series. Barney and Rizzo over on the right side. Wellington Castillo behind the plate for our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher. Jeff Samardzija, 4-7, 3.35 ERA, 110 strikeouts. That's the third highest mark in the National League, and this Astros club strikes out more than any other team in all of baseball. So could expect to see a lot of red K's in your scorecard today.
Chris Guccione will handle balls and strikes. David Rackley, who had that controversial call at second yesterday, is at first today. Clint Fagan at second, and Phil Cuzzi, the crew chief, over at third.
Yep, stay hydrated, young man.
Definitely that kind of afternoon.
Baseball weather.
Here's Maxwell to lead it off. Happy birthday, partner.
Thank you.
As we get going.
Yeah. In case anybody out there wants to know, extra large tall.
First pitch is fouled off on a 94-mile-an-hour sinker from Samardzija.
A couple of starts last year for Jeff against the Astros. Here in August, he was really good. 7 innings, a 1-run ball. He punched out 11. He was good in the other start, too, in May at Minute Maid. Allowed 2 runs in 6 innings.
Bo Porter likes having Maxwell back in the lineup every day as he takes a slider on the outside corner. Maxwell recently on the disabled list. He has a few words for Chris Guccione right off the bat.
Borderline slider. The one Maxwell could have reached had he been inclined to go after it. Those big long arms. Interesting call by Bo Porter to have Maxwell in the leadoff spot. Doesn't really profile as a leadoff guy. We talked about the possibility for a big strikeout game from Samardzija today. 1 up, 1 down, and 1 red K in the book.
Altuve, good contact hitter, swings and misses. So the Astros as a team, that's their 718th strikeout. A pretty good lead in that department among all big league clubs. Fly ball to right, sending Scherholtz back a few steps. Reaches back toward the warning track to haul it in for the out. Their strikeout rate is 25.6%. That's the far and away leader by over, or exactly 2 full percentage points ahead of the second team on that list. So then you say, okay, do they walk a lot? Well, no, they're below major league average at 6.9% of the time they walk.
Yeah, they've just got a bunch of free swingers. They tried to add some power to the lineup over the offseason. They were able to do that.
Castro hits this ball hard, but a slicing liner lands in the glove of Alfonso Soriano. So a quick 1-2-3 for Samardzija. The Cubs coming up.
Some people might think we're set in our ways, that we're old-fashioned. We couldn't agree more. For 140 years, Coors Banquet has only been brewed in Golden, Colorado, with pure Rocky Mountain water and the best high country barley. With us, old-fashioned has never gone out of style. Coors, the banquet beer.
Just when you thought you had experienced performance, a new ride comes along and changes everything. The 2013 Lexus GS. With the dynamically tuned suspension and adjustable drive modes. Because the ultimate expression of power is control. Lease the all-wheel drive 2013 GS 350 for $439 a month for 36 months. See you at Lexus dealer.
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'd rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Houston went down 1-2-3 on just 6 pitches in the top of the first. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. No changes from yesterday 1 through 8. Valbuena, Castro, Scherholtz, Soriano, Rizzo, and Sweeney. And then Castillo, Barney, and Samardzija. We should point out Castillo and Barney have been 2 of the hotter Cub hitters here lately.
And here are the Astros defensively this afternoon. They sacrificed a little bit with Brandon Barnes not being in the outfield. Today it's Maxwell in center. Krause making his first major league start, as Len mentioned. He's in right. J.D. Martinez covers left. Dominguez, Gonzalez, Altuve, Carter, third to first. Jason Castro behind the plate. And our Lexus starting pitcher for the Astros, 22-year-old Jordan Lyles. And what a turnaround he has had. 10 starts now this year, 4-1, 3.22. He's been on quite a roll over the last month, 6 weeks or so.
And how about 22 years old? This is his 51st major league start. Valbuena bounces on the first pitch and hits it foul on a play off of third.
There certainly have been some bumps in the road for young Jordan Lyles since coming to the big leagues, but you know, a high draft pick, a guy they had high expectations for, and he's a very mature kid. So I think the thinking was, you know, we can bring this guy to the big leagues, and even if he gets knocked around a little bit, it's not going to set him back, crush his confidence.
Strike on Valbuena. You see what he's done this month.
1.69 ERA in the month of June. 28 strikeouts, just 4 walks in 4 starts here over that stretch.
High in the air to left, and it is Martinez to make the grab. Now Mark Capel, the #1 overall pick, is, gosh, 7-8 months younger than Jordan Lyles.
Lyles first came to the big leagues in 2011. 2-8 that year. The high ERA. Last year split time between AAA and Houston. And again, you know, flashes at the big league level. Really seemed to figure things out late in the year.
Age is a bit relative at the big league level because it's 2 parts. What is your actual age, and then how much experience do you have here? Anthony Rizzo is older than Starlin Castro. He will turn 24 in early August. Castro won't turn 24 until next March, even though Starlin has more big league time. Anthony got a haircut today. Did you see that?
Trimmed up the lettuce a little bit.
Yeah.
Boy, did he ever.
I'd say significantly.
He got his summer buzz.
I got a summer buzz Friday night at the concert, but that's a little different as Castro fouls off. But I had a good night's sleep last night.
Recharged and ready to go.
Yep. Two balls, 2 strikes, just underway. Bottom of the first.
Pitch counts certainly in play today on a hot day like today. Nice if you can be efficient as Samardzija was in the top of the inning.
The wind and the 2-2. Ground ball to first. Lots of English on it. They will get the out. You could see that coming. It was hit right off the end of the bat, so it had some nasty spin, and when it hit Carter's glove, it really took off.
Carter spent time in the outfield as well as first base. Really grade out very highly at either position. He can swing the bat, and then he hangs with it and just gets Castro.
So Scherholz hit his 10th home run yesterday. First time in his career he's hit double digits in home runs in a season. Ground ball. Altuve just slowed it down but could not flag it down, and that's a base hit.
Now one of those in-betweeners for Altuve. He probably felt like if he left his feet to knock that ball down, it might be difficult to get up and make a play, so he tries to stay upright and just reach for it, and not able to corral it. 2-out single for Nate Scherholz.
Give Soriano a chance with a runner on. And if I may, a very minor beef I have with the Astros. As interesting as these orange sherbet uniforms are, these are their alternative uniforms, and their alternates. I saw their gray unis in the clubhouse and thought they would be wearing them today, but they did not. Got a new look. I was kind of hoping we'd see the road grays at least once.
I like the road grays. I think they're a real classy look. Yeah, not to get too deep into the fashion world, I like everything about their new look, which is kind of a lot like their old look. Except for that, I'm not a big fan of the orange shirts. Not much. It does want me to have a dreamsicle.
It does, yes. Well, the logos over the years, they had orange basically in that logo for a long time. Made some changes in the 90s. And then when they moved into Minute Maid Park, but now back to a more classic look. And you see the top two logos there, they played at the Astrodome, so that was incorporated into the main patch. That's high. Now, you pointed out of the many different iterations of their uniform that your favorite, going back to late 60s, early 70s.
The old 60s shooting star jersey that they used to wear. There's Joe Morgan.
I like it.
Little Joe sporting it.
See, the hat's the same as what they have now, basically, so they could have done that. Yeah, I'm with you. I like it. Right field, Kraus went back, now comes in. And that will end the inning and our conversation about the Astros unis after one. No
Mr.
score.
Blackwell.
The Southwest Airlines nationwide sale lets you go from working hard to hardly working. Big sales that help you get away. That's how we fly. Act fast. These are the final days to grab flights for as low as $59 one way to select nonstop destinations. These fares won't last long, so hurry and book now only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Find hot deals during the Menards summer sale. Update your deck or patio with fade-resistant indoor-outdoor carpet by EcoFi. In 12-foot widths, Status comes in 5 colors, 39 cents a square foot. Quick Rail synthetic railings are great for porches and decks, are easy to install and made from a maintenance-free rigid composite. With a limited lifetime warranty, 6-foot white or tan railing kits in straight or stair sections are your choice, $69.99 each.
Save big money at Menards.
Xfinity from Comcast gives you total access to your Chicago White Sox. Because only Xfinity gives you exclusive White Sox shows on demand and 24/7 coverage of every team in the league with MLB Network. This is the White Sox on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network and White Sox on demand. Or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Cubs Authentics is the premier outlet for all MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. Game-used baseballs, bases, and jerseys to autograph bats and photos. Cubs Authentics has the most exclusive Cubs memorabilia. Go to the Wrigley Field Concourse, the Cubs store across from the ballpark, or Cubs.com/authentics for all your Cubs memorabilia needs. J.D. Martinez leading off here in the second, and good to see the new coach of the Chicago Bears, Mark Trestman. He's got pretty good seats. I'm sure he remembers Jeff Samardzija as a receiver at Notre Dame. I've heard the playbook is rather complex on offense.
That'll make for some fun football.
Should. Jim DeShays Martinez. I assume that's what JD stands for.
Julio Daniel.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
I trust you.
The Miami guy, late round pick. Just tore it up in the minor leagues. High average hitter. And good power numbers coming up through the system. Led their club in RBIs last year, just 55, and actually spent some time in the minor leagues. Big blast yesterday. He's making the most of those 7 home runs. They've all come with a man on base, at least one man. Yesterday was a 3-run shot.
Popped out of the mid of Castillo, negating the foul tip. We'll repeat a 3-2 coming up. Chris Carter on deck, then the right fielder Mark Krause. Bounces to Darwin Barney. That'll bring up Carter, who has struck out a major league high 105 times. We've alluded to the Astros team strikeout rate. Carter at 37.6% of his plate appearances. That's almost double the major league average. And again, 15 home runs. And he fouled this one off. He wore number 13 when he went to spring training. Then Ronnie Cedeno, when he signed late in the spring, asked for it, so he switched to 28. He rolls one into left, but then Rick Ankiel went to Carter and wanted that number, so then Carter wanted 33, but Mike Scott wore that number and it's retired, so he settled on 23.
Man,
that's
what's gonna guy do?
Circuitous route to a uniform number.
So he gave it up to Ronnie Cedeno, and who was the other guy?
Rick Ankiel.
Rick Ankiel said normally
2 teams ago for him.
Yeah, normally when you're, if you're willing to give up a uniform number, it's for a guy who's been in the game for a long time and kind of a high caliber type player. If I put Cedeno and Ankiel in that category. But he may have been compensated well for giving up the uniform number.
Right. So Krause made his major league debut on Friday, 0 for 2 in the series. It's the starting nod in the 6th spot and playing right field, and he sends that one out into deep right center. Scherholtz on the move, makes the catch for the out. Carter has to scramble back to first.
Sweeney and Scherholtz out there in center and right, both very good outfielders. Key here is just make sure you communicate. Scherholtz takes charge. Sweeney peels off. Out recorded.
Now Matt Dominguez 0 for 4 with 2 walks in the series, but a key sac bunt yesterday, setting up the game-winning safety squeeze. On the opposite end of that spectrum, he went homerless over his first 33 games, but in his last 39 has connected 10 times.
Big grand slam against the Brewers on their recent homestand.
Lifted to right, Scherholtz. Busy start to his afternoon. 2 hands on it, inning over. 1 out single by Carter. No runs after an inning and a half. Scoreless.
Hi.
Hi.
We're expecting.
Congratulations.
We need a really great SUV.
RAV4.
Well, I was thinking we might have 2 or 3 kids, right?
Highlander. How about 5? You know, whatever you decide, we've got you covered. Whether it's RAV4, Sequoia, Venza, or Highlander.
5?
We could just start with the Highlander.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on 7 great Toyota models, like the 2013 Highlander, Sienna, or Venza. Toyota, let's go places.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that U-verse wireless receiver.
You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watch TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted 1 day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get U-verse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
It's your first time here, and 80% of the bar is staring at you.
Good thing you invited Tommy, who triples your street cred. You order 3 Modelo Especials, earning 7 slow nods from the crowd. You're 20% more confident. Then you remember your ace in the hole, Dylan, and his encyclopedic knowledge of garage rock. Nailed it. Modelo Especial. Discover the Especial.
Time now for Avis slow-mo replay. Happy birthday to the lefty. Called strike 3.
Who's that home plate umpire? That was emphatic. Moonwalking back there.
There we go.
It's good to be the king.
So you had a couple starts on your birthday.
Oh my.
2 no decisions, and we have a cake.
You guys have gone over and above and beyond.
The media dining room.
Thank you.
Bringing over a birthday cake.
Oh, thanks, chef. I think he didn't put as many candles on there as would be dictated by my age. We'd be on fire in here.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Wow. We'll be back. This commercial break. Chocolate cake and ice cream. That's a dense cake right there, too. Thank you, everybody. That's very nice.
Where would you rather be on your birthday
than the ballpark?
Yep. I would say you've spent your birthday at the ballpark
pretty much since the age of 9.
Yeah, most years of your life. One home run for Rizzo came in the opening game of this series. Altuve does leave his feet this time. Can't get that one. Rizzo's going to try to get to second, and he's going to make it. Gets away on his way to third. No throw this time. The hustle double and an error.
They were playing him strong pull. Altuve was shaded toward the hole, but the ball hit sharply enough to get beyond his reach. Slowed it down. Errant throw. And now the Cubs have a golden opportunity to draw first blood here. Krause, the right fielder, will draw that error.
So it's Ryan Sweeney, Dominguez even with a bag at third and off the line. Everybody else back. They'll give up a run here and to avoid a big inning and a called strike.
Have had some issues in the field.
Pitch blocked by Castro. It's 1-1.
Lyles out pitch, probably his curveball. He'll throw his changeup to the lefties as well. Good fastball. Not in Samardzij's territory, but still pretty good one. There's a little sink piece right there at 92.
By the way, you better eat all of this cake today, because if you have a good broadcast, we're going to throw the cake in your face like a player after the game. Just warning you.
So yeah, we're going to share with everybody over there in press row and make sure that's not an option.
One, two. Cutter in the dirt. He loves chocolate cake.
What, no balloons?
Full count, 3-2.
This is a situation where, as a pitcher, again, hot day at Wrigley, wind blowing out, You'd love to try to pitch away from Sweeney, get him to chase with that man on third base. But really, if you're Jordan Lyles, your thinking should be, I just need to get out. If that run comes home, that run's not likely to beat me today. If you try to get too fine here, you end up walking Sweeney. You set yourself up for a potential big inning.
Ground ball will get it done. Altuve ranging far to his right will get Sweeney. Picks up his 8th run knocked in, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
Really good execution by both parties there. Lyles in a position where I felt like he had to be willing to throw a strike, and Sweeney not trying to do too much with that ground ball and put the Cubs on the board.
That'll bring up the catcher, Wellington Castillo. He's 12 for his last 25 with a home run and 4 walks. And he's hitting .327 here at Wrigley. Outside ball 1. Talked to him today about it. He said quality at bats, just every time up there, trying to keep it simple. Not worry about results. Cutter strike.
Well, and the other thing too is you know, I think we're all guilty of it. We tend to define a quality at bat as a long at bat, and that's just not the case. And he provided great evidence of that the other day. 3 hits and 8 pitches in St. Louis. 4 at bats. He saw 8 pitches all night, but he got 3 knocks. So quality at bat can be a 1-pitch at bat. Guy throws you a cookie early, you hit it hard for a knock. In my book, that's a quality at bat.
Taking more walks as well. What did he have, like 1 walk in his first 36 games?
Yeah, he's been on a little bit of a walk streak. So, you know, the fact that he had that game we spoke about, but also has had some games where he's, you know, not chased pitches out of the zone and worked some walks. It's kind of what you're looking for in a hitter. Maybe now a little more power.
Got under this one. And Maxwell has lots of room.
I'm not saying he has to start hitting home runs right now, but I mean in terms of the development of a young hitter, that would be the next phase. Handle a good fastball. You're willing to take your walks. Don't chase pitches out of the zone. And then if it's in there, and I think most Cubs people think it's in there, that Castillo would be a guy who's capable of hitting 12 to 15 home runs in a season.
Barney thought he had walked with the bases loaded to give the Cubs the lead in the 8th yesterday, but it was called a strike. Eventually flied out. He's not too happy about the way that game ended yesterday. Dominguez looks it in before throwing across to Carter to end the inning. That run is earned. A double and an error to start it. Sweeney gets Rizzo to the plate, and it's 1-0.
Chevy Malibu offers an EPA estimated 34 mpg highway.
Malibu.
Want safety? It has 10 standard airbags.
Wow, Malibu.
Right now, the deal on one of these is like...
Malibuya?
Malibuya.
Malibuya. Malibuya.
Malibuya.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, get this great lease on a 2013 Chevy Malibu LS for around $169 a month.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
The Verizon Share Everything plan for small business lets you connect up to 25 devices on one easy-to-manage plan. That means your smartphone, her BlackBerry, his laptop, Mark's smartphone.
But I'm still on vacation.
Still on the plan.
Nice.
So is his tablet, that guy's hotspot, the intern's tablet.
The intern gets a tablet?
Everyone's devices. His, hers, all easier to manage on the Share Everything plan for small business. Connecting more so you can do more. That's powerful. Verizon. Get the BlackBerry Q10 for $199.99.
It's got performance with efficiency. It's got all you want in a car as alive as you are. Introducing the supercharged V6 and turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that gets 30 miles per gallon highway from Jaguar. At last, you can roar responsibly. Jaguar.
For great offers, visit your Chicagoland Jaguar retailer today.
Don't miss the Cubs as they host the division rival Cardinals on Thursday, July 11th at 7:05, and the first 10,000 fans at the game will get a Cubs tote bag. Compliments of the private bank. For more info or to purchase tickets, it's Cubs.com. How's the chocolate cake?
Decadent. Very rich. Got a little something going on inside there. Man, it's nuts.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff so far for Jeff Samardzija as he faces switch hitting Marwin Gonzalez. The shortstop tried to bunt, hit it foul.
Marwin brings some value to the club. A good defender, switch hitter.
3 unassisted.
Long-term role with the Astros is probably as a utility guy down the road.
So it's a 3-game homestand for the Cubs. It was a 3-game road trip for the Astros. They're heading right back home after this one. And will host St. Louis starting on Tuesday night.
Quick hitter out and back for the Astros. They made it a family trip, so a lot of wives and kids enjoying Chicago this weekend. Miles is a very good athlete. He signed out of high school, turned down a scholarship to the University of South Carolina to play football and baseball. Like Samardzija, he was a wideout.
Swing and a miss. Well located fastball. Hey, send us your comments on today's game through Twitter using hashtag Cubs Talk. We will read one back later in the game. We call it our AT&T tweet. Also want to set this up. Coming up in the 4th inning, we are going to be joined by the Astros CSN TV crew, your former partner Bill Brown and your former catcher Alan Ashby. We're going to do one full inning as a
four-man booth.
Should be fun.
Well, and certainly some similarities between these two organizations, these two clubs, and where they are right now. Teams in a rebuilding phase, trying to establish who their core guys are going to be going forward. The team's very optimistic about the prospects down in the minor leagues. Guessing that little girl's probably not overly concerned with that. Well, one of those guys, long and strong, likes to get his arms extended.
Chops one to third. Valbuena gets him. 10 batters for Samardzija. He's retired 9 of them. The Cubs lead 1-0.
Last year was a pretty big year for the Elantra. You know, winning North American Car of the Year and all. But that was just the beginning. We're not done yet. Not even close. And here's something else we're pretty proud of.
Get an Elantra for 0% APR plus a $500 valued owner coupon. Visit myhyundaichicago.com.
You deserve soft serve Burger King in a cone, 50 cents. Tell your friends. Frozen treat, beat the heat. You're in luck. $1 Burger King soft serve, so tasty. Burger King soft serve, 50 cents. Get it now.
Right now, save big on beautiful kitchen and bath remodels from Galaxy. Just $49 installed. Call or visit GalaxyHome.com today.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
There are man-eating sharks in every ocean, but we still swim. Every second, somewhere in the world, lightning strikes. But we still play in the rain because bad things can't stop us from making our lives good.
Tuesday, it's always a battle when the Cubs square off with their division rival Brewers. Watch as Chicago looks to take down A-Ram and the Brew Crew at Miller Park. Don't miss Cubs Brewers, Tuesday night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
The 29th Annual Cubs Convention will take place at the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers on January 17th, 18th, and 19th. Rooms can be reserved by visiting Cubs.com/convention or by calling the Sheraton at 1-800-325-3535 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. All reservations at the Sheraton Chicago come with convention passes built into the room package. So jump on. Hope to see you there.
Jeff Samardzija swats one into center. Cubs have a runner here in the third.
Well, we've been talking in recent days about Dale Swain wanting to see his hitters be more aggressive, attack that first good fastball they see. That's something Jeff Samardzija does every time he goes to the plate. He goes up there with that swing hard in case you hit it mentality, and it's paid off for him a number of times already, and he's got himself a leadoff knock. Astros in the outfield treat Valbuena as an off-field hitter. I don't recall other clubs really doing this. Most teams play him pretty much straight away. Their philosophy with him is pitch away, play him away. He can handle the inside fastball. We've seen him turn on a lot of inside fastballs. If they're going to stay away, they feel like they want to shade their outfielders, their center fielder Maxwell in this case, over towards left field. Out there roaming around, starting to drift back a little bit now, but would have a hard time splitting that gap between Maxwell and Martinez.
It's going to be no outs. Could have been a double play. Gonzalez just couldn't handle it. Second error of the day already on the Astros.
A tough day for Marwin Gonzalez because the first error was charged to the right fielder Krause on that throw into second base. It was a ball that Marwin probably could have corralled. Now this sharply hit ground ball that looked like a double play, and he just clanked it. Too much of a hurry, perhaps. A big opportunity for the Cubs. Not only the extra base runners, but the extra pitches it forces a pitcher to make on a hot day like today really have an impact.
Castro will bat with 2 on and nobody out. He's got a big hole on the right side. Altuve playing pretty close to the bag at second.
The Astros, like the Cubs, like so many teams in baseball, pretty aggressive with the shifting, but it's been a little bit of an issue in Houston. Some of the pitchers were not happy about it. Lucas Harrell publicly came out and questioned it. I think Bud Norris had something to say about it. So the Astros have backed off a little bit. They said, all right, if our pitchers want our guys to play more straight up, if that's the way our starting pitchers really feel, we'll yield to that, even though their scouting and information says otherwise. A little bit of a tug of war going on.
Pitcher and catcher took a little bit too long, so Castro asked for time. We'll have to start the process over again. A kick, the 2-0. It's off the plate in.
Appears to have good movement on his two-seam fastball today. Haven't seen many curveballs yet. That may be his best pitch. Good day for a hat. Make sure you've got the sunscreen.
Missed badly, and they're loaded for Nate Scherholz.
That was I think this guy might have the green light fastball. So he wanted to find a little extra just in case Castro was swinging and misfired. A little sloppy defense behind him. You know, the walk to Castro. Miles is really in the soup.
Well, in his last 7 consecutive starts, as we check out our AT&T UVerse multi-view, Lyles has not allowed more than 2 runs. Any of those starts, that's the longest current streak in the American League. Actually, it's the longest in the AL this year. That might be in jeopardy here, already trailing 1-0.
Essentially, he's had 1 bad start. He gave up 8 runs to the Rangers back on May 12th. Every other start, it's been 3 earned runs or fewer. And for the most part, 2 or fewer.
Started the season at AAA, spent the month of April there. His numbers have been better here.
Yeah, he was expected to be in the rotation at the start of spring training, but had a miserable camp. So they sent him to AAA.
A 5.32 ERA at Oklahoma City.
Cubs have seen him before. This is his 4th career start against the Cubs. He's 1-0 with a 2.5 ERA in those 3 games. He is on the ropes here, and that was kind of the key in yesterday's game too. The Astros kicked it around a little bit. Cubs scored 2 early off Bud Norris, but they could have really had a big inning there in the 3rd. Ended up leaving the bases loaded. Didn't seem that big at the time, the way Travis Wood was pitching. The Astros were able to fight their way back in that game and ultimately win it.
Ground ball through for a base hit. Cubs are going to get a couple. Samardzija in. Valbuena behind him, and Nate Scherholz makes it 3-0.
Scherholz has got Altuve running this way and that this afternoon, leaving his feet yet again on a Scherholz ground ball, but like his first at bat, Nate able to squeak it by him. This time it drives in a couple. It's about the 4th belly flop for Altuve today.
And still no outs. And on the hands, and Soriano turned on it and dribbled it foul. Fastball missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Man, that was good cake.
It was.
It's either cake or modern art.
Past tense. Cake is gone. Sure, you've had starts in which your defense didn't really help you out, and it's two-pronged. I mean, you can sit here and feel sorry for yourself, but you also got to make a pitch to get out of it.
Yeah, you have to be able to turn the page in a hurry.
Lyles trying to do that here. Victimized by a couple of errors the last 2 innings.
You stand out there on the mound and bemoan your fate and stomp around. You've seen guys stare down their teammates. You're not going to see that from Lyles. Mature kid, good professional.
Soriano strikes out. That's the first out. Also the first punch out for Lyles.
Good tight breaking ball. Very difficult for the hitter to recognize that one. Hard curveball too, 81 miles an hour, and I think that's been the real key for him. Consistency with his curveball. He's tightened it up. He can throw it a little bigger, loop it in there if he's trying to get ahead. On 0-0, start out of the zone, then drop into the strike zone. But when you're looking for that swing and a miss, you want that pitch going from strike zone to out of the zone.
Xfinity high-speed action.
And nice job getting on top of that high fastball that was in on him a little bit and hitting that ball hard on the ground. That's a pitch you often see swung through or popped up.
In the air to center. Maxwell's going to have room. Castro should be able to easily score. He'll tag. Scherholtz also tagging and making it to second. Sacrifice fly for Rizzo, and it's now 4-0 Cubs.
Third, less than 2 outs. Hitters will go up there looking for a ball that they can get airborne. Nice job by Rizzo. Very good base running by Scherholtz to tag and advance. But it doesn't appear to me like the wind is affecting the ball all that much. That, you know, on the day when the wind is really blowing hard here, that's the kind of ball that's going to carry out of here. Looks like it should influence it.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it's just my former pitcher's bias that thinks on a day like today everything flies out of the ballpark. There's the breakdown on Lyles. He's had to work awfully hard, and those errors have really forced him to do so.
That one drilled out into the alley, and the Cubs will get another to make it 5-0. Sweeney on his way to second. He is safe. That's a double.
That's just good baseball there all the way around. Scherholtz coming home because of his ability to tag and advance to second, and then Sweeney smoking that ball into the alley and thinking double all the way and able to get there. A number of the Cub hits in this game have been ground balls just beyond the reach of infielders, but that one blistered by Sweeney.
Doug Brocale will head out to the mound. Action out of the Astros pen. That's Wade LeBlanc. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Cubs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details. Runner at second, 4 in, and Castillo takes a strike. And we're going to chat with Bill Brown and Alan Ashby. Brownie will drive the ship in the top of the inning. He'll handle the bottom of the fourth as Castillo got clipped by that pitch.
Looking to push back a little bit, throws the first pitch strike with the curveball, and then runs fastball in. Flips the jersey of Castillo. Kindest of all hit by pitches.
Back to the pitcher, through his legs actually. Altuve missed it. Castillo caught between second and third. So you got a run down here. Sweeney's going to take off for the plate. Throw there. He is tagged out.
Funky stuff going on in this ball game today.
9 come to the plate. The Cubs do get 4 runs. We'll sort it out when we come back.
This could change everything. A frost brew liner, cold activated mountains, 2-stage cold indicators, plus a new double vented wide mouth. This technological masterpiece will revolutionize barbecues, beach parties, and tailgates. It will bring cold refreshment to millions of people this summer and eliminate oppressive heat around the world. Sorry, I got carried away. The world's most refreshing can, only from Coors Light.
Way off. Try the Picante.
A little more to the left.
We're trying our best, sir. Maybe the round one.
You're not very good at this, are you?
Fire all 4.
Are you serious?
I'm waiting.
Make it rain. Bullseye. 4 flavors, 4 shapes, new Cheetos mix-ups.
You can choose to take your chances, or you can choose the Infiniti JX, the world's first luxury crossover that can sense what's behind you, even when you can't, and can apply the brakes, even before you do. The Infiniti JX, with backup collision intervention system. Visit the Infiniti Limited Engagement Spring Event to lease a JX for only $469 a month. Infiniti, inspired performance.
Comcast Sportsnet is your home for the most in-depth Blackhawks coverage before and after every game. Join Pat and Steve for Blackhawks pregame live every game night at 6 and Blackhawks postgame live after every game, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Cubs 5, Astros nothing through 3. That was a wild third inning. And time now to join our compadres next door on Comcast Sportsnet Chicago. And we now have 4 broadcasters: Bill Brown, Alan Ashby, Comcast Sportsnet Houston, Len Casper, the birthday boy, Jim DeShays, Comcast Sportsnet Chicago. It's a Comcast Sportsnet free-for-all, guys.
It's the Mount Rushmore of goofiness.
It's some chiseled faces, that's for sure.
How's the cake?
Yeah.
Hey, you want some?
I already had some.
You know what? We were kind of anticipating that we might not have to beg for it. So at this point, I don't know.
We went ahead and stole a different cake, JD.
Did you really?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, you're welcome. You could.
Thank you for that birthday, though, you created for us for our visit.
I'm going to hook you up.
Jose Altuve with ball one. Hey, this is a fun visit for us. But who knows when we'll get together again like this, guys. What do you think, Len? What will the schedule call for?
I'm not sure the Astros will be back, Brownie, for maybe 4 or 5 years at this point. The way the new interleague schedule works. Have to meet up in the World Series, I guess.
Well, you know Bud Selig, right?
Oh, I wish I had some control over it.
That's a little pop up toward the bullpen. Rizzo, whoa! He lost it. There's some craziness going on at Wrigley Field today.
We're hoping you guys could explain the last play of the bottom of the third.
Well, it was ruled a hit.
I'm stumped. I'm completely stumped. I have to admit, I glanced up, but as the ball eluded Jose Altuve, I'm trying to figure out how on earth that's a base hit. I need to see it again, I guess.
Okay.
But that is way beyond me.
Yeah, it was kind of funky.
I think only JD could explain a play
no,
like
I'm with
that.
you. Well, usually the default position is just go full moon on a day like today. That's weird stuff is happening here. Right through the wickets. Yeah, the question is if Altuve gets that cleanly, does he get it out either at second base or first base?
Easily.
I think so too.
Well, he got a knock of his own to give him a 5-game hitting streak. Now, isn't this a full moon, JD? Weren't you telling me that last night?
Well, it was what is it? It's
super moon.
Super moon.
Super moon. Yeah.
What's that? Apogee? The moon was in its closest point. Yeah, that's an easy out at second base. That's not a hit.
No.
I'm sorry.
But it's a hit.
Getting a little defensive of Lyles the way things have gone here defensively. I don't even know if you can legally use the word defensively the way things have gone.
Well, I know, you've got the Cubs aspect, Len. You've got the Astros aspect. And you've got the fairness doctrine.
Well, we were just talking about from a pitcher's perspective, obviously Lyles has been a victim of some pretty rough defense behind him, but JD can speak through experience. You still have to get out of the inning.
That was a big issue with the Cubs club earlier this year. Some sloppy defense, but also the inability to pitch around some of it. I mean, there's a burden on a pitcher. I mean, you can talk about all the unearned runs, but not all unearned runs are created equally, right? I mean, there's some times where clearly it's on the defense.
There's a smash into the right field corner by Jason Castro. Altuve legs it for third. Shearhold spins and throws toward the cutoff man, Barney. And that's a double for Castro. He has 21 doubles. Len, that is a very nice pace for a major league catcher.
No question. Already hearing about some all-star consideration for Castro. That would be impressive. He could make the club this year.
I have to tell you guys, watching Jason Castro swing the bat this year, the numbers are good, but they're far shy of what it looks like he's done in watching him line drives. We saw him line out to left field his first at bat today. Time and time again, he has really swung it much better than the numbers.
JD Martinez, the Astros trying to come back from a 5-0 deficit. JD grounded out earlier. Len Casper, Jim DeShays, Cubs baseball. There's strike one. So, Lenny, how has your partner adjusted to Chicago? We are getting all these questions in Houston. How's JD doing? How's he doing?
He's been wonderful. We talk about chemistry all the time with broadcasts, and I felt it really from day one. We had all these people saying, you're going to do some practice games or how? Just talk baseball. Just jump in and do it. JD's been doing it longer than I have, and worked with you for so long, Bill. And when you do it every day for 3 hours, you just get used to one another. I think you and Alan could say the same thing.
Bouncer to second. Barney charging. Short hop play. On over to first. He continues that errorless string. It's an RBI for Martinez, his 29th.
Yeah, I think Brownie's trying to consider whether that's a good thing, though, Len, and you always hope that it is.
Well, Len, do you realize here, well, of course you do. You know all these things. We have former battery mates here on the air together.
Yeah, how about that? I was going to ask you, Alan, about catching this guy here.
Well, he was a dream. I guess that's what you say in a situation like this, right?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why it was a dream, because this guy, he used to catch Nolan Ryan in '98. Mike Scott with all that nasty movement he got. Joe Niekro's knuckleball. J.R. Richard, all these power arms with nasty stuff. And then, I come in there with my powder puff 84-mile-an-hour heaters.
Now, wait a minute. JD's the guy that struck out 8 consecutive Dodgers in the first inning and forced Tommy Lasorda to go to his bench for a pinch hitter just so the record wouldn't be completely abused.
Yeah, that's because they were tired.
Major League record. 8 strikeouts to start a game.
But you did, though, Ash, in all seriousness. I mean, you caught some nasty guys to have to catch.
I caught some. I was very fortunate. You know, you talk about latching on to some of the great coattails.
There's a shot on a line into left center field by Carter. Carter gets another double off the ivy. That's an RBI for him. His 9th double, his 39th run batted in, and the Astros come back.
Boy, what a weekend he's had.
Yeah, he really had. You know, Len, this has been one of his best weekends since that opening road trip in Seattle when he really went off. Ash, he's now put those consistent swings together.
Had you seen him at that time, you probably would have been quick to latch on to, boy, what an acquisition this guy is going to be, off the charts. Well, it's been a rocky road, as it is for most guys. But what we've seen here lately is an ability to stay on the ball a little longer. Some of the shots we've seen to the right of second base, including a home run here in game 1 of the series. Much better looking for Chris.
Mark Krause with ball 1. Well, Lynn, I know you've had a big weekend with the concert you had. Theo Epstein, Peter Gammons Friday night. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a hot stove cool music event that's been going on in Boston for over a decade, and we decided when Theo came to Chicago to bring it here for the 2nd straight year. And I'm just I'm sad that Ash wasn't there.
Yeah,
I find out you're such a great guitar player. We could have found an amp for you.
You know, if you took great out of that sentence, you nailed it right on the money. But I appreciate the effort on your part. Yeah, I'm so impressed that you're the bass player. I want to know who the drummer and singer might be in this super group that we're going to throw together.
Well, I know that JD plays a mean cowbell.
There you go. You can't have enough cowbell.
That's about all I got.
Brownie's got the pipes.
Well,
so he can be our singer.
Brownie used to play the horn back in the day.
Trumpet, but I can't anymore, Len. I lost it, Len.
Well, not being able to play well does not, disqualify you from participation.
Okay, well,
it's about effort.
If you're talking noise here, we could do something.
So
2 and 2.
We got to get JD to want to sing the stretch. He's done it with me a couple of times, but he is totally afraid of doing it by himself.
This man, he has an operatic type voice, Len, so you should really encourage that.
That actually leads me to the question that I was thinking about for JD, which is the all-important baseball question. Who's been the most fun singer of that 7th inning stretch for you guys?
Oh boy, been a lot of really good ones.
Krause to center field. Sweeney with the grab. Well, I don't know that I can.
Yeah, we had Joel Murray here the other day. He was great. He was a lot of fun.
Well, we watched the Black Hawk win last night, and Len, by the way, Ash is really wanting one of those red sweaters, so we're going to look for him for a red sweater to take back. But you have those Black Hawk guys on all the time. They sing. Who's good with them?
Oh, the captain, Jonathan Taves, has been good. Patrick Sharp, always a very popular guy. Dennis Savard,
he was
the Hall of Famer, really good. Eddie Olczyk,
yeah. Tony Esposito was up here.
Really?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Strike to Dominguez. Well, this city's on fire for that Stanley Cup. Think about it. They could bring that cup right up to your booth someday.
That would be good.
If you take the big birthday cake out of there, you probably would have room for it.
You could be eating birthday cake out of the cup. JD,
is that allowed? Is that within the
no
regulations for the cup? I think you can drink out of the cup. I'm not sure you can eat out of it.
No, it's not allowed. No balls, 2 strikes.
I think the only thing you're not supposed to do is drop it, and that's been already done, so you got to move on.
Dominguez takes high, 1 and 2. Isn't that the most traveled trophy in sports, Len?
No question. Every player gets to take it wherever he wants to for, I think, a 24-hour period. And it's ended up in a lot of interesting situations over the years. Small towns in Canada.
Yeah.
Where would you take that cup, Len?
Oh, man. That's a great question. I think I'd have to bring it to Wrigley if I had it. Just let the fans enjoy it.
Soriano hits one over there, and goes over there, and it's a 1-2 count on the Dominguez foul ball. Well, that cup is just such a symbol, and it would be great for the city of Chicago. And we were captivated by that game last night.
City, I mean, did you hear people booing yesterday? We were looking around the ballpark, and we realized it was a handful of Bruins fans drawing the ire of Cub fans and Blackhawks fans.
Backhanded by Castro. He throws to first. No, it gets by. And here's a run scoring now as Carter comes in to make it 5-3. The ball skipping by Rizzo. And now the Astros keep the inning going for Marwin Gonzalez.
Hey guys, Starlin today was working with the Cubs coaching staff on what Dale called body control plays, backhanded plays. It's been a struggle. That now ties him for the major league lead in errors.
Well, we saw him out there working. That's his 13th error. And now 6 in the last 11 games. And he was working on plays exactly like that, Len, the backhand play.
Yep.
And it's been a mixed bag. You know, sometimes it's the glove work, sometimes it's the arm. That time he made the play, just an errant throw, kind of goosed the ball across the diamond instead of cutting loose.
For those who like defense, this has not been the game to watch.
Oh, man, this is shaky.
Burn your DVRs. Foul back. There's strike one.
But they're going to want to save this inning. The four-man booth.
Oh, yeah. we have messed up this game beyond repair. This is ugly.
And on a day where you can ill afford to force your pitchers to make more pitches in this heat, but that's exactly what has happened.
Is this about as warm as you guys have had it this summer?
Yeah, for sure.
Broken bat roller. Valbuena doesn't handle it, and that was hit slowly enough to give Gonzalez a chance to get up the line, and he is safe, bringing up the pitcher spot. Dominguez into third.
Wouldn't you love to hear the comments of the person who is just watching baseball for the first time ever and watching this game? So this is how you do it.
I think they would be a little confused.
That one ruled a base hit.
What's your opinion?
That one was ruled a base hit.
Okay. So you're not changing now that you've moved booths.
I don't know. You know the frustrating part is when the ball's not fielded cleanly, you never know whether the guy's going to make a play or not. It wasn't an easy chance, but as a former pitcher, you tend to want everything to be ruled an error.
Yeah.
Take the pitchers off the hook.
That's more of a base hit than the Darwin Barney ground ball, is it not?
I would say yes.
If we're talking about degrees of base hits. Jordan Lyles struck out in the third inning. 3 runs home on 4 hits and an error here in the inning. And it's 5-3 in a crazy win at Wrigley. Not that you guys have seen many crazy games here.
Here's the irony, right? On a day like today when it's hot and the wind's blowing out, you expect a high-run game because the ball's flying out of the ballpark. You don't think it's going to be all about seeing eye hits and misplays and bobbles.
Lyles takes a look at it, and it's 1-1. You know, you brought up a good point about that heat and extending the inning for a pitcher. And Samardzija has got to be feeling it right now. Lyles had to be feeling it in the third inning. It is a warm day.
Have you guys teamed up to do a game from any of the rooftop seating here?
No. No, we haven't done that.
We did one from the bleachers.
Yeah.
The Budweiser patio out there. We were out there last homestand. That was kind of fun. And we were in a suite down below behind home plate.
Brownie, you remember the old press box?
Yeah.
We were on that level. All luxury suites. That's a great view.
I love that level, Lynn.
Yeah. Catwalk.
Runner going from first, and it's a strikeout. Take us to break, Lenny.
Okay. The Astros get on the board with 3. We'll continue our chat with Brownie and Ash coming up. 5-3 Cubs.
The Southwest Airlines nationwide sale lets you go from working hard to hardly working. Big sales that help you get away. That's how we fly. Act fast. These are the final days to grab flights for as low as $59 one way to select nonstop destinations. These fares won't last long, so hurry and book now only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
A legendary duo, the Lone Ranger and Tonto, were destined for one another. And destiny brings together smooth avocado and crispy bacon. This creamy, smoky combination stars in the epic Subway turkey and bacon avocado. Only at Subway during avocado season, where avocado can partner up with any sub. So ride, jump, or speed the Subway today. And catch Disney's summer blockbuster, The Lone Ranger, in theaters July 3rd. Subway, eat fresh.
you'll probably never bat in the 9th inning of Game 7. Or have to make a shot with 20,000 fans screaming at you. Or choreograph an original touchdown dance. But you do have a sport, and every weekend is your chance to take the field. Lowe's, never stop improving.
This 4th inning is brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Liv Moss. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Cubs lead the Astros 5-3. It has been a very sloppy day defensively. 3 errors combined. Lennon J.D. along with Bill Brown and Alan Ashby. We've got Comcast Sportsnet Chicago and Houston covered here in the 4th inning. Okay, so 4-man booth right now. Bill, you've been doing this for 3 decades. Have you done a lot of 3-man booths? And I go back to the movie Naked Gun, where they had like a 9-person booth. The thing that you and JD always did well is you left space in the broadcast, but it's harder to do when you've got a lot of voices, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't leave any space. We're going to wear people out, Len. Just wear them out.
Jeff Samardzija leading off against Jordan Lyles, who's now back in the game, trailing by 2. I got to tell you a quick story. JD gets hired and tells a story to introduce himself to Cub fans. It was about his final ever major league appearance. I don't know if he told this story. I'm sure he did on one of your broadcasts here at Wrigley, but the weather was very much like it is today, right, partner?
The weather was actually significantly warmer than today in my recollection. It was like 100 degrees that summer in the Midwest. There was a heat wave. This was 95. And you guys will remember we used to stay at the Hyatt on Wacker downtown, right? It had the 2 towers.
Yeah.
And you'd walk across the walkway from one to the next.
Yep.
And I'm walking across that tower and I'm seeing the heat rise up off the road. And I said, this is my last major league start. That was my thought process. You talk about negative thinking. I was with the Phillies. I'd been kind of on the way out the door anyway. I'd just been called up from AAA. I was at the end of the line, and I said, this is not going to go well today. They're going to release me. And I just don't have the stomach for this anymore. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh.
Todd Zeal hit a bomb off me. I lasted an inning and a third, maybe an inning and 2/3. At least I could blame it on the heat and the wind.
That's right.
And it also was a great example of why he's a good broadcaster. He predicted what was going to happen.
Hey, Len, we have a correction to make. We tend to talk in astronautical terms sometimes about apogees and perigees and things like that. We got the wrong thing on the air last inning.
Okay.
It was the perigee that we were dealing with this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm really shocked that one of you guys didn't get up early and take a good look to see what the perigee was looking like.
So I always struggle with waxing and waning. So
sorry to bring the wrong terminology from NASA land all the way up here to Chicago.
The burden is on you guys to get moon talk right.
Okay.
JD, when you wake up in Chicago and it's warm, don't you know it's going to be a great pitcher's day?
It's when you start to hope that maybe some bone chips start to appear in your elbow.
And the doctor will confirm.
Galena grounds out. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th. So Alan Ashby caught 3 no-hitters. Were they all similar no-hitters? What was?
Yeah, they all wound up with no hits at the end.
We know that.
In that regard, they were similar.
Were there any 8 walk games?
It was nothing like that at all. I did not catch A.J. Burnett. But Ken Force threw a rather routine, if you can have routine type no-hitter, not many strikeouts, and a lot of balls put in play, but all the plays were routine in the game, it seems, as my memory thinks back. But then I was able to catch Nolan Ryan's record breaker, number 5, and I just latched on as tight as I could to the great coattails in that case. And then the improbable clinching game with Mike Scott on the Hill, 1986. Against the San Francisco Giants, 10 games in front, and it was just highly improbable, and Yogi Berra was there, and the whole bit, and Jim Deshaies, and just a whole lot of fun. Some things are so improbable in this game, and I just happen to be a part of it, and I'm so grateful.
That's what makes it such a great game. You never know when you get to the ballpark what you're going to see.
Well, Joaquin Andujar had already used that line and used it quite well. That one magical word in baseball, you never know. And he was also a teammate of mine.
2 strikes on Castro. 5-3. The Cubs lead. That one is bounced foul. And Brownie, you've got a couple of books. Yeah, I'll give you the opportunity to mention those to all of our Chicago fans.
Well, thanks, Lynn. Last year we did a charity book, My Baseball Journey, which is on Amazon.com. And right now we have a Houston Astros Deep in the Heart book on the history of the Astros. And Ash and Bob Aspromonte and a lot of talented guys are going to be at Minute Maid Park and do a book signing next Saturday from 2 to 3. And thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really well done, Brownie. I was flipping through it the other day at home. And by the way, thanks for that copy.
Well, thank you for all the great elucidating quotes about your career and the careers of others. That was the fun of it, doing the interviews, Lynn.
Oh, sure.
Hearing all these stories.
The 1-2 pitch. Castro reaches out. Soft liner is going to be caught. Nice sliding grab by Justin Maxwell. Next year will be the 100th anniversary of this ballpark opening, so we'll have more on that coming up over the next 6 months or so. Bill Brown, Alan Ashby, thanks so much for the time, guys.
Good to be with you guys.
Our pleasure, fellas.
Go 5-3 Cubs.
Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $500 to $1,500 cash back on almost every EcoBoost-powered Ford. Get a Ford Fusion, Taurus, Escape, Edge, Explorer,